All right, welcome to episode 152 of the Bottom Line Podcast. Tom, we got a snow day. So we're stuck in our houses here on a Saturday, but a big Saturday, nothing, nevertheless, I should say. How you doing, Tom?
I'm good. Just sipping on my hot chocolate
Ah,
after being out shoveling for a little bit with my dad and my brother. Um, Looking
how are they?
forward to the UFC card later tonight too.
Yeah.
We'll get into that in a little bit, but there's a few more weeks left at Bed Bath until we close down completely. But I do have an interview next Friday at for Ocean State Job Lot in Tewksbury, so it's actually like a little closer to my house, like 15 minutes away.
Nice,
Uh,
dude.
and it's for a supervisor backroom position, so I'll actually be in charge of like the freight team, which I have never had a lead position in a job before, so I'm a little nervous about that. I'm used to receiving trucks like with my cousin at Bed Bath, but I don't have a lot of experience with the merchandising on the sales floor, and that's one of the things I'll need to do is direct people to how to merchandise correctly on the sales floor. So that's going to be a slight learning curve for me. But maybe if they just train me for a few weeks on it or whatever, and help me get more used to how things will be laid out on the sales floor, and maybe I'll feel more comfortable.
That's awesome, dude. I'm so happy for you.
I need to get the interview first though, but it seems like they're sending me good vibes. So like I think they're liking me so far.
Hey, that's all you can ask, right?
Yeah.
At the end of the day, things are moving in a positive way, um, and that's good. We need that positivity. I feel like in our lives in all aspects of our lives, our work life, our family life, our friends, everything. You just want in some aspects it doesn't always work out that way, but when you have the circle complete, it's a good feeling.
Yeah.
But good. I'm glad and your brother and dad are doing good, and your mom obviously
Yeah.
too. Good. Good. Yeah, this storm's a damper here. But we've had a pretty big exciting week in sports. Couple weeks since we've been on last time.
Yeah.
Um, Obviously we got the UFC card tonight. What is it? UFC 285.
285. Yep. In Las
Yep,
Vegas.
in Vegas, baby. And then we got the Bruins. They are on fucking fire right now.
Yeah. And plus the news this week about Pasternak's extension.
Dude,
Is it 8 or 9 years?
beautiful. 8 years,
90
90
million.
million.
Damn. That's
I
a.
thought I thought they'd do like 88 for his number,
Oh yeah.
but credit to Rich Keefe, who is a WEEI radio host at night, and he had the scoop on Pasternak and them negotiating the deal like back in January, and he was like, it's going to be like 8 years, 88 million, or like 88 to 90 million dollars. So
That's crazy that people are even getting paid even more than that. Like, and 90 million is already like ridiculous, you know.
exactly. Dude, it's a great contract. By the way, I'm gonna take a moment here to shamelessly plug. We are on Spotify. Subscribe to us on Spotify, and now from last episode, Tom, I haven't told you this yet, but I'm gonna start uploading them to YouTube.
Oh, okay.
Okay. So I made a channel and everything, and we're up there now. It's all brand new channel, obviously. Um, But you can still listen to all of our previous episodes with Steve and myself from way back a couple years ago on Spotify. So yeah, we got UFC card tonight. We've got the Bruins have the best winning streak in the NHL history. It's like insane.
Yeah, people are saying that like they got to go all the way. If they don't win the Stanley Cup, then like it's a huge disappointment. Which I mean, I wouldn't say it's a huge disappointment, but just what they've done, what they've accomplished so far, they should be very proud of themselves. You know,
absolutely. And the fact that what they did what Don Sweeney did at the trade deadline, you go out and get a certified top 4 defenseman in Dmitry Orlov, a bulldozer type of player, 4th line player in Garnett Hathaway, who's not afraid to pick a fight. And you need that toughness in the NHL playoffs, that's for sure. And also you go and then trade for Tyler Bertuzzi of the Detroit Red Wings, who's when healthy a big time scorer, probably 2nd, 3rd line type player, but a solid player. Now, what is concerning me at this point is the injuries. Foligno looks like he might be done for the year. Taylor Hall's been shut down, which could be for the rest of the year. But I feel like you've got enough depth to make up for those absences there. Mm-hmm. Marchand went out last night's game, but he's back. He coach said he's going to be back, so that's good. It's just these injuries. The injury bug kind of concerns me at this point in the year.
Yeah, and like you said, it's with the depth. Like the people, like the stars that are on the team, they start or whatever, and then the people who are like the secondaries, who normally for most teams might not be nowhere near as have as much talent, but with the Bruins, the secondaries have probably a little over average talent that the coaches are looking for. So that's always good to have a lot of confidence in your backups, the primary stars, or have some minor major injuries.
Exactly, man. And they have that depth too, even in the minor league system. I feel like they didn't have to give up too much. But obviously you don't want to have to rely on those guys, but I think they've got enough I can't even talk today. Enough depth, veteran depth. And guys that have been there in the playoffs, played in the playoffs, have that experience behind them. I think they'll be okay. But they gotta just get through this month and a half or whatever and get to the playoffs healthy. And I honestly, I think they're gonna be a fun team to watch, for sure. And I think they could go all the way.
Yeah. What team do you see giving the Bruins the most difficult time though in the play? Like if they reach the playoffs and they get really deep into the playoffs, what team do you see that could stop them?
That's a good question. I'd say probably today, New York Rangers, who they're actually playing today, I think in New York City.
Oh, okay.
They're probably the second best team in the conference, right in the Eastern Conference right now. And they loaded up at the trade deadline. They got Patrick Kane. Do you know who Patrick Kane is, Tom?
Yeah, I definitely heard of him. Yeah.
Yeah. He's not having he's kind of towards the end of his career at this point, but still a known guy, a veteran. He's been there. They just went and got Tarasenko, who's a former MVP as well. Multiple goal scorer from the St. Louis Blues. And so they're a good team. They fear, I want to see how today's game goes for sure. But they're up there, and then Carolina probably, and maybe Tampa. I still think Tampa we could beat, but Carolina, something about Carolina, they always give us a hard time, I feel like.
Do they have like faster skaters?
Yeah, and solid defense, solid goaltending. They're kind of I feel like our kryptonite.
Yeah.
A lot of the times in the playoffs. But other than that, I really don't fear the Capitals. Like, I don't even know if I don't even think the Capitals are going to make the playoffs. I can't even understand why they traded Orlov and Hathaway to us. That's mind-boggling. But still, yeah. And then like Tampa always like, they've been so good for so long, so they always kind of like scare me, and they play us tough too and physical. And have one of the best scorers in the league in Kucherov. So yeah, Rangers, Carolina, and I'd say Tampa are the three teams that probably give me the most fear going in the playoffs. But let's So also we got the Celtics. We're gonna get to UFC, Tom. I promise.
Oh, no problem.
Yeah. We got a lot to cover. So we're trying to get these ones out of the way first. But yeah. So we got the Celtics. They've been struggling, man. Last night it's like, what is going on with this team? Like they just give up at the end of these games, and it's like they stop. It's like they're already just dogging it to the playoffs at this point. And I don't know, or if it's just a lack of, if it's a lack of laziness, or if it's just a lack of they think they're the best team and they don't need to try this last month and a half before the playoffs start.
Yeah. Maybe I don't know. Maybe towards the beginning of the season they had more hunger to get to to have a successful season, and they are having a successful season. So when people are very successful in, whether it's a fighter in the UFC or soccer, anything, if they're used to being really good, they might let their guard down a little bit. And it's it could be, I learned this in high school, hubris, right? When it's kind of like or pride, kind of like it's good to feel good that you're successful. That's a great thing. But you always could be like, okay, there's still that goal at the end. We're not there yet. We didn't even get in the playoffs yet. Yes, we're doing good, but they got to have the mindset as, okay, teams that are right behind us and going to be going, into the playoffs as well. They're looking at us, and their goal is to dominate us in the playoffs, and to, so, and those other teams that maybe aren't as doing well, but will still get in the playoffs, maybe have a little more hunger right now and motivation than the Celtics. But the Celtics still got to kind of, even though they're doing really good, they got to act like they maybe are at the bottom of the division, even though they're not. So they got to have that mindset.
I couldn't have said it better myself, my friend. You're exactly spot on. Yeah, it's like, it feels like a mental thing with this team. It really does. Because they've got the talent, they've got the chemistry. They have they've had the best record all year, like you said, and it's just it's that motivation to just, you got to try hard, like you're the underdog every night, no matter what. You got to have that underdog mentality. It doesn't matter if you have the best record in the league. It doesn't matter, it doesn't matter if you have the worst record. You got to have that dog mentality in you as an athlete. So we'll see. And that's what part of me is like, just doesn't like about the sport of basketball, because I feel like these guys get treated differently. Like the stars especially get treated differently. There's a lot of just bad foul, like tic-tac fouls. It's just slowing the game down, and like especially like bad tic-tac calls at the end of games, and it's just making the sport kind of like annoying to watch, I guess.
Yeah.
But we still get a root on our hometown team. So I'll always watch the boys. But yeah, the sport itself is just, I don't know, just kind of, for me at least, in my opinion, it's starting to get a little annoying.
Yeah.
Obviously spring training starting. That's exciting. We talked about that on the last podcast. The World Baseball Classic's coming up. But that's baseball season. We know how slow that game is, and how, although I have to say, this pitch clock thing, it's kind of making me, a little happier watching the sport of baseball. Have you heard about this?
Really, no.
Oh,
no,
okay.
Really.
So so they installed this last year in the minor leagues, or 2 years ago in the minor leagues, and it's a 30-second pitch clock, and so you have a certain amount of time as a pitcher and the hitter to be in the box ready to go as a batter, and pitcher, you got to be ready to go on the mound, ready to throw. And if you're not ready to go by that time span, as a pitcher, you could get a balk, and as a hitter, you could get an automatic strike. So actually, at the end of one of the Red Sox spring training games the other day, the Braves batter, it was like bottom of the ninth, bases loaded, 2 outs, and guy had like a 1-2 count on him, and he stepped out of the batter's box past the 30 seconds, and the game was over.
He didn't call a time or something? He just stepped out?
He just stepped out, and the umpire just called the game.
Wow.
Because the clock expired.
That must, oh man, they're lucky it's a training game.
Exactly. See, that's like part of it's like, it's kind of comedy to watch it. Like, I want to see if any of these guys are actually paying attention for this long of a season. We all know how long the baseball season is.
Yeah.
Oh
yeah, because like batters can take their sweet ass, like kiss their bats and whatever the hell they do before
scratch
they have
their jog strap.
Yeah, they have their little quirks before they step into the box. And then the pitchers have their own little quirks too, what they do before each pitch. So
yeah, it's unnecessary.
Make new quirks. I'd be like, all right, I got 30 seconds to do all my quirks.
Well, and as a viewer at home, it's like, I don't want to watch this guy scratch his ass for 50 seconds. Get up there, fucking throw the damn ball, and let's go. Like, yeah. I don't have all day here.
What if he throws to like first and there's a runner on first, and like if they to try and keep him from like stealing, and like it hits like 30, but they like the 30th second, but they throw to first, they won't get like blocked for that, right?
Say that again.
This won't...
is a lot of thinking for a Saturday morning.
So like if a runner's on first and you're the pitcher, and like you know how they'll like throw to like second or first or whatever if they think that the person's going to try and steal, to keep them from stealing.
Yeah.
If say like they only have like 30 seconds, right, and there's like one more second left or whatever, and then like they throw to first instead of throwing at the to the batter, they won't get penalized for that, right? Because they made an action before the time ran out.
Yes. Yeah. If it's before that 30-second pitch clock goes to 0.
Okay.
So you could still throw over to first or pick or second or third or whatever and try to pick the guy off, but
yeah.
It's going to be interesting. I mean, the Red Sox, I think they're going to be a team. I don't know if you've heard of the expression Moneyball, like based on the movie.
I've heard of the movie, but other than that, no.
Okay. What you should definitely, if you haven't seen the movie, definitely recommend it. Jonah Hill's in it. It's fun. Yeah, it's pretty good. I forget the guy that plays the Oakland GM, but he's a big name. I'm totally blanking on it right now, and he's like the main character. Brad Pitt. Yeah, thank you, Tom. Yes. So Yeah, I highly recommend that. But yeah, so it's based on that Moneyball expression, as in like they were a team that like they weren't like the most powerful hitters in the league, like they didn't have the best batting averages, but they somehow like would just have the best average to get onto like single, doubles, triples, and they'd all get on base and they'd steal, and it's just like a small ball approach to winning a championship.
Yeah.
But I just don't think the Red Sox. I think they have that type of like system right now where it's like a bunch of just average hitters. You know, maybe Devers is like probably their best power hitter, and then they have like they have no pitching, other like starting pitching whatsoever. They just have a bunch of like relievers and a closer. So like I don't know how that's sustainable to win a championship.
They traded Eovaldi, right? Or something like that.
Yeah, that was a questionable move in my opinion. I thought he was very solid as an ace or number 2 at, at very least. And then you had the fact they didn't re-sign Michael Wacha, who he just had a career year after being hurt with us. They let him go to San Diego with Bogaerts. They let go, didn't pay him. Just a lot of questionable moves.
Yeah.
And I'm not sure if it's going to work out. But it's early. They have the best record in spring training right now. Actually, they're undefeated. Not that means much, but going back to, I believe, their last World Series year, they had the best record in spring training that year. Just a conspiracy growing up. But who knows? It's baseball. It's a long season.
Oh yeah. How many games are in a season? Like the regular season?
I want to say 182.
Damn. Wow.
Yeah. Way too many, dude. It's ridiculous. I'm watching 16 inches of snow fall outside right now, and or whatever. Is it 16? Maybe it's less than that. Whatever. I'm watching snowfall out here, and meanwhile, these guys are playing baseball. I don't understand it. But I guess obviously they play in different states, which are warmer than where I am. But yeah, we are. Anyways, let's dive into the UFC card. I know that's probably like the biggest sporting event tonight going on here, probably, and then obviously you got the Bruins and Rangers this afternoon. But where do you want to start, Tom, with that?
Let's see. I'm pulling up the card.
Did you see? Oh, by the way, did you see Jake Gyllenhaal? He's filming.
Movie? Yeah. I saw that weigh-in. That's gonna be part of the Roadhouse movie. Yeah, that's pretty cool.
Did you see the original?
Yeah, I actually did. I think it was like a year or two ago. I saw the original. It's with Patrick Swayze, right?
I have no idea. I was just asking. I haven't seen it, but yeah, I can look it up.
And Conor McGregor is, I think, it's supposed to be part of it too.
Oh no shit! Is he really?
Yeah. And Jake Gyllenhaal's character's name is Dalton something. I forget his last name. But yeah, it was kind of cool how they did like that face-off for the movie as they were doing the real life face-offs for the fights that are tonight.
Mm-hmm.
He's
fucking Jake Gyllenhaal's fucking ripped.
Yeah, I saw during the weigh-in. I was like, wow, he got into big shape for this role.
Yeah, he'll lose a lot of weight. It looks like.
Yeah, and who knows? Maybe he'll even want to like get into just taking more like boxing classes and stuff like that just for being in this role. And might want to get more into martial arts, or maybe he already had experience in martial arts in the past when he was younger.
Right. That's true. Yeah, no doubt, he probably did. A lot of these actors have a jujitsu or martial arts background.
I think Jonah Hill was getting into jujitsu recently.
Was he really?
Yeah.
Did you see his new movie on Netflix?
No, I didn't. I was thinking about watching that. I might watch that pretty soon. Did you?
I started it. I couldn't. It didn't get great reviews. But yeah, I couldn't finish it. I started it, but I don't know. Eddie Murphy wasn't. He wasn't Eddie Murphy, and he was just like being a PC version of Eddie Murphy. I feel like.
Yeah.
But it was okay. Jonah Hill was like kind of like always how Jonah Hill acts. It was, kind of like super bad Jonah Hill. We've mentioned Jonah Hill twice already in this podcast.
Yeah. Yeah, he was a Moneyball.
Right.
So, yeah.
Shout out Jonah Hill. You can come out. You can come on the podcast if you ever hear this, but you probably won't. But let's see what else. All right, so yeah, UFC 285.
The fights start at 5:30. Yeah, 5:30 Eastern time. I didn't really focus too much on the early preliminaries, even though there's this guy Ian Gary, Irish fighter. He's 10-0. He's fighting Kenan Song, which I don't know too much about Kenan Song. Kenan Song is 19-6, so that'll be a challenge for Ian Gary. I'm sure Ian Gary could get the job done though. I think he has. Ian Gary's a pretty tall guy too. He probably has a reach advantage on Song. And then the preliminaries. Julian Marquez versus Marc-Andre Barrel. I've seen both of them fight before. I kind of forget what their styles are like, but that should be a pretty good fight. It's middleweight. Vivian Araujo, she recently had a fight. She lost via decision round. Via decision, 5-round fight against Alexa Grasso, which is fighting Valentina tonight in the co-main event.
That's gonna be a good fight.
And
Valentina's is a fucking rock star.
Yeah,
she's probably the most. I mean, maybe other than who is? Oh my god, why am I having a blank? Why am I drawing a blank to this? Who's the woman that lost, the Brazilian that's in the Modelo commercial?
Oh, Nunes, Amanda.
Nunes. Oh my gosh, yes. Besides Nunes, and obviously like Miesha Tate and well, I guess Holly Holm's up there. Of like girl badasses in mixed martial arts. Ronda Rousey.
Mm-hmm.
Shevchenko's probably right now. She's probably on the Mount Rushmore. Probably number one.
Yeah, she's definitely in that elite group of female fighters. Yeah, I want to get into detail about Valentina's fight.
And she's sexy, by the way. I just got to throw that in there.
Oh yeah, definitely.
But it's all right. My wife didn't hear
that. Next up is middleweight fight: Derek Brunson versus Dricus Du Plessis. I think people are favoring Dricus Du Plessis to win that. Du Plessis is 18-2 and Brunson is 23-8. Cody Garbrandt.
Yeah, Brunson. That's okay. So he's that's fighting in a prelim.
Yep, the preliminary card.
Have you seen him? Have you seen Du Plessis fight before?
Yeah. I I think I know that Brunson's more of a stand-up striker. I kind of I've seen both of them fight, but I forget what Duplessis' style is like. I feel like he's probably stand-up as well, but he might have some submissions. But I think he's known for stand-up, so I think that one's going to be a pretty good one.
And remind me again, who's Brunson's loss coming off of?
Ooh.
Or what's his who was his last fight?
Cannonier beat Brunson.
Oh, right.
Yeah, and then I think after
was that
Cannonier,
what was the decision on that?
Cannonier TKO'd him in round 2.
Oh shit, that's
Yeah.
okay. Cannonier's a beast. So Cannonier's fighting Adesanya, right? Or he already has.
No, he already did. I think that fight happened after he beat Brunson, and then Adesanya beat Cannonier.
Oh right. I okay, yeah, that's right. I remember Cannonier. I think I was at your place when we saw Cannonier TKO Brunson.
Mm-hmm.
So that was Brunson's last fight. Gotcha. Okay. Continue with Garbrandt. Oh, actually, before you continue Garbrandt, I had another question. Back to Ian Gary. Who was his last fight? I remember watching him.
He fought Gabe Green in July 2nd of 2022. It was a round 3 decision. It was a 3-round fight. So Ian Gary won a decision, and then
See, who am I thinking of that? I thought it was an Irish guy that had like a insane knockout recently. I don't know. Can't remember. But anyway, so yeah, continue. I'll let you continue with Garbrandt and the rest of the card.
So Garbrandt is going against Trevin Jones. So that's going to be the featured preliminary bout, bantamweight. Garbrandt is 12-5, and Trevin Jones is 13-9. Garbrandt's kind of been on a decline recently.
That's right.
So his last fight was in 2021.
And he got knocked the fuck out by O'Malley, right?
No, he fought
No, not O'Malley. Who the fuck? Who did he get?
So he fought Rob Font, right? And then
That's
he lost
right.
decision back in May 22nd, 2021. And then Kai Kara France TKO'd him in round 1.
That's what I was thinking of.
Yeah.
Okay.
So yeah, and the last person
Font lost to him?
No, Font beat him.
Yeah, that's right.
That was the beginning of Garbrandt's decline.
Right.
The last win that Garbrandt had was in 2020 when he was kind of backed up against the cage and he had that explosive uppercut punch against Rafael Assunção right at the buzzer at the end of the round. So that was the last victory he had. So a lot of people are favoring Trevin Jones to get the win over Garbrandt tonight.
Have you seen Trevin Jones fight before?
I might have. His name sounds familiar, but kind of forget what his style is like. I have a feeling he's a kickboxer, but I could be wrong.
Gotcha. He doesn't look familiar. I don't think I've seen him fight yet. But the Bo Nickel, Jamie Pickett. Now that's not on the pay-per-view, right? Oh no, it is. It's
the first fight on the pay-per-view.
Now I haven't seen Bo Nickel fight at all, but I've heard like they've been hyping this kid up as a prospect.
Dana White's putting all his eggs in one basket for him. Dana White is banking on Bo Nickel to win. And
Jamie Pickett, I mean, he's lost the last few fights, right? He's on the decline.
Yeah. Let's see. Dennis Tiulin. He's 11-7 now. He TKO'd Pickett in round 2, back in September 10th of 2022. And then before that,
yeah, I remember that. I've seen Pickett fight, I think, a couple times now.
Yeah. And then
yeah, I think I'm rooting for Bo. I mean, you got to put all your. I mean, they're both Americans, but you're putting your. I mean, Dana White's, like you said, putting all of his eggs in that basket, and this guy's getting hyped by the hype machine. So, man, that would be a devastating loss out of the gate.
He's going to be part of my 4-fight parlay that I'm going to do tonight. Bo Nickel.
Yeah. Now he's more of a grappler, right?
Yeah. He wrestler, grappler. Yeah. I don't know really how much jujitsu he has, but if he can throw someone to the ground, I'm sure he could just do a lot of good ground and pound on them. He might have some submissions, but probably will just take some submissions if he sees an opening for it, not exactly doing setups for submissions as Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu person would do.
Interesting.
But I see him. He's actually a very heavy favorite over Pickett. I forget what the odds were on DraftKings, but it was heavy. And I think I pronounce his first name Mateusz Gamrot versus Jalen Turner. So
that should be a bloodbath.
Gamrot's last fight, he fought Beneil Dariush, right? And Beneil Dariush he's
a monster.
He's kind of been one of those people that has been on a win streak for a while and just has never gotten a title fight. Kind of similar to what happened to Tony Ferguson. Ferguson was an interim champion, was never the lightweight champion, but he was the interim champion for a long time and never got a title fight after winning 12 fights in a row. So it's kind of one of these people that the UFC doesn't want to give them a title fight, even though they're whooping a lot of people's asses. So when Gamrot,
which is stupid in my opinion.
Yeah, when Gamrot fought Dariush, Dariush had amazing takedown defense and was able to stop Gamrot from a lot of times he was trying to shoot on him to take him down. And Gamrot mentioned in the press conference that he learned a big lesson from that fight against Dariush. And you learn more from your losses than your victories. You become a better fighter from as long as you watch how you lost and watch what mistakes you made and what changes you need to make, you'll improve, you'll grow. If you don't do that, then you're just going to keep going on a losing streak and show no improvements in your style and everything.
Right.
No,
he's a beast. He was a beast. I remember that fight.
Yeah.
And I think Turner's a good test for him. Now remind me, is Turner coming off a loss or a win?
Where's he coming? So he's doing pretty good. So,
yeah, I'd say.
He beat Jamie Malarkey March 5th of 2022, TKO'd in round 2.
I just pulled up the ESPN thing, by the way.
Oh, okay.
So I'm right along with you. I know the audience probably didn't need to know that, but yeah.
Brad Riddell's another good name, so he submitted him. Uros Medic is a good fighter too. So yeah, that's gonna be that's gonna be another challenge for Gamrot. If Gamrot can learn a lot about his loss from Dariush and make some changes and get a big win over Jalen Turner, that'll be huge.
For sure, that's gonna be definitely a fight to watch tonight. Leading up to that main event. So the next matchup, we got Jeff Neal and Shavkat Rakhmonov. Try saying that.
Rakhmonov.
Listen,
Rakhmonov. I still butcher names too. I just remember how they mentioned it on TV, so I just kind of got that seared into my head.
Dude, You should be up there with Rogan and Anik, who are the best in the game. I'm telling you. That's a tough name. But yeah, I remember watching him fight. He's coming off a loss, right? Or is he coming off?
I think he's actually coming off a win.
Oh, that's right. He's 16-0. Damn.
Yeah, he's scary. He submitted Neil Magny. Neil Magny is really good in the clinch, and a lot of, I would say, has Muay Thai experience as well. And Neil Magny's a veteran in the game, so getting a win over him was big. And let's see, what's Jeff Neal been up to?
I feel like I just saw he's a southpaw, right?
I think so.
Vicente Luque.
Okay, so we got a good win over him. And then Neil Magny beat Jeff Neal, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I would say Jeff Neal is on the older side too. He's, like I say, he's a veteran. Jeff Neal's he's getting up there, but he's still younger. So if Neil Magny can beat Jeff Neal and Shavkat's younger and he's on a huge winning streak, I think. And I looked at the odds, and Shavkat is another heavy favorite over Jeff Neal.
That's definitely going to be. That should be another good fight, for sure.
Yeah.
And
if he takes Jeff Neal to the ground, that's a huge problem for Jeff Neal. But and Shavkat knows about Jeff Neal's explosive hands, so I mean he's gonna watch out for that. He's not gonna just run into the pocket and trade blows with him. I think he's gonna try and just be more technical and try and find the right time to take Jeff Neal to the ground and dominate him from there.
So you got you say it, Tom.
Rachmanov.
Rachmanov. There we go. You got him over Neal.
Yeah. So my 4-fight parlay is gonna be Bo Nickel, Rachmanov, Shevchenko, and Gamrot. I'm too nervous to bet on the main event, and I'll explain in a minute.
All right.
How about that? The co-main event, Women Flyweight Championship. Valentina Shevchenko, she's 23-3, and she's going against Alexa Grasso, 15-3. So Shevchenko, she hasn't been as active. I mean, her last fight was back in 2022. So I mean, she's like, more active than John Jones, but like not like fighting 2-3 times each year. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
She only fought one time last year against Talia Santos, and it was a decision.
That's true. I remember that. But it was a good fight, right? A really good fight. Yeah.
And so Alexa Grasso, she is a really good boxer, right? Mm-hmm. Valentina Shevchenko, she has some quick punches, quick jabs and stuff. She's really good standing up. She's good everywhere. But so I don't think it will be the best idea for Valentina just to stay in the pocket with Alexa Grasso to trade blows. I don't think that will be it might not end well for Shevchenko if she decides to do that. She can do that for a little bit, but she'll need to mix things up. She has very quick leg kicks, so if she can get some quick leg kicks off early in the fight against Grasso and get Grasso thinking about her legs and kind of screwing up her mobility, because if your calves start to swell up or whatever from a lot of leg kicks, it's going to be hard to put weight on that leg, and it's going to create some problems. And also, if you want to stop getting kicked in the leg, you're going to focus on checking a leg kick and worry less about blocking your head. So Shevchenko is going to get Grasso thinking about protecting her legs and then she'll, maybe she'll go back up to maybe do a head kick or something like that. Just mix things up to get Grasso thinking about different areas that she needs to protect. And if Shevchenko does get rocked a couple times by Grasso, I think what she's going to try and do is toss Grasso to the ground and get her in a crucifix position or like a side control position where she can use her elbows, because Valentina loves to use her elbows on the ground against people.
Mm-hmm.
And she has submissions on the ground too. And Grasso, she's submitted people, but it's pretty much just opportunistic submissions. It's not kind of looking 3 steps ahead and like, oh, how can I set up this submission, like as like a Brazilian jiu-jitsu fighter would do. So if she sees an opening for a submission, she'll take it. But I think Shevchenko might be a little more experienced in setting up submissions. So Shevchenko could be a little more dangerous on the ground than Grasso could be. So I was almost going to bet on Grasso. I think Grasso is definitely going to be a champion at some point, but I think Shevchenko is still just on the top, and I think she's going to be on the top for a little longer until someone dethrones her.
I love it, Tom. I love it. That's good. Yeah, definitely another great fight to be watching. That's the co-main event. And last but not least, the
John
main
Jones, Johnny
event
Bones Jones
of the evening. The return of John Bones Jones.
Been out for how many years? Couple years? 3 years?
Crazy.
He's 26-1, and actually they mentioned during the press conference yesterday, or not yesterday, Thursday or Friday, that
Willow, piss off. she's just like, she's a camera whore. She's taking up all the limelight here.
Photobombing.
Yep.
John Jones is going up against Cyril Gane. Cyril Gane's a French fighter. He's a mainly kickboxer. He's 11-1. He's gotten some wins over some big people. And I would say if John Jones was more active and hasn't taken this much time off, I could see a better chance of him winning, but he might have some ring rust. And Cyril Gane's been more active. Even though I think John Jones is more of a well-rounded fighter and has overall a lot more experience, I'm not going to bet on that fight because I have a feeling in the back of my head that Cyril Gane could do an upset. Even though I don't want Cyril Gane to do an upset, I would love John Jones to win. I just a little feeling in the back of my head, and like, yeah, he could upset John. John Jones was mentioning that Cyril Gane is very bouncy on his feet. He likes to pop in, do a couple strikes, and then jump back out. And then if it gets into the championship rounds, 4 or 5 rounds, Cyril Gane is less jumpy on his feet. And I think Cyril Gane relies more on his strength and not as much technique. But with his kicks, he has a lot of technique. He has some mean kicks, especially kicks you on the body. Like when he fought against Tai Tuivasa. Tuivasa was not having a fun time receiving all those kicks to the body.
Not at all. And that's a big motherfucker.
Yeah.
And a tough motherfucker.
John Jones, he has a lot of he has high level technique. And it's kind of like we'll see what happens because like I said, I want John Jones to really get the win and prove there's no one that's gonna dethrone him off of the GOAT status. And I think no one's gonna take him off the GOAT status, but if he can defeat Cyril Gane, it's like
you think even if Gane defeats him, you think he's still the GOAT?
Yeah, because he's just done so much.
Right. And significant.
Yeah.
Like he's a certified Hall of Famer, right?
Yeah, like how Tom Brady, he's been kind of struggling a little bit near the end of his career. Like maybe they get some losses against teams they should be winning against, even though they might get beat by a team they should be winning against. He's done so much in his career that it's impossible for someone to knock him off of the GOAT status.
Right. No, I get that. I mean, this is a huge. As a fight fan, this is a huge fight tonight because he's probably one of the biggest mysteries right now in the UFC, because he hasn't fought in so long, but he's a lethal striker.
Submissions from anywhere, standing submissions.
Submission artist. He's just a weapon all around, and you just, after 3 years of being out, you just don't know how these guys will respond. But I mean, the hype is so there for Jon Jones, and if you're a fan of the sport, you want to see him do well. But Gane, man, he's had some big time knockouts, big time recent knockouts.
Yeah.
Big time fights, He's got that experience. He's got that dog in him. Man, this is gonna be a bloodbath.
Oh,
it's gonna be an absolute bloodbath. I think this is probably the most exciting fight of the year so far. I'd have to say, in my opinion.
Yeah.
I mean, I haven't seen what was the last one?
For last Gon's fight?
No. I know that was Tuivasa. But that the last UFC card.
Oh.
Pay-per-view, I should say.
Last pay-per-view was Islam and Volkanovski. And Yair Rodriguez, Josh Emmett.
And that was the controversial one.
Yeah. I don't know. I want to watch that fight again, but
So yeah, I gotta watch it because I haven't seen it yet. But I heard it was very controversial.
Yeah. Yeah. If you look at Makhachev's face and Volkanovski's face, Volkanovski doesn't look like he got in a fight, and Islam definitely does look like he got in a fight.
And was it mostly like ground and pound type of fight?
It was a lot of time spent on the ground. Yeah. I think Islam rocked Volkanovski one time standing up, but when Islam would take Volkanovski to the ground, he did barely any damage to Volkanovski on the ground. He tried to submit Volkanovski various times. He couldn't even do that, which he normally can with anyone else. So Volkanovski showed different signs throughout the fight that Islam can't handle him. I mean, maybe Islam can keep himself from getting knocked out, which is good, but Volkanovski most definitely proved that he's an issue for Islam. Even though Islam won, he proved that he's an issue. And people are going to study Volkanovski versus Islam, other people who have lost against Islam or people who haven't fought Islam and want to fight him. They're going to study that and be like, okay, so Islam was able to easily throw down all these other people, keep him up against the fence and suffocate him and submit him like Khabib would do. But Volkanovski figured out how to found the holes in Islam's game, found what he can do to exploit him, and he exploited the shit out of Islam in that fight. He exploited his weakness, stuck out like a sore thumb. But yeah, I gotta rewatch that.
Yeah, they're both champions, right?
Yeah.
Volkanovski's what? How many time champion? Like he's been the reigning champion.
Featherweight.
Yeah, for a long time. So Yeah.
I remember when Ortega went against Volkanovski. Ortega had that super tight guillotine on Volkanovski, and Volkanovski slipped out of that. He didn't even think about tapping. He was like, "Yeah, it's tight, but I'm not gonna tap." Yeah,
He's a warrior, man. Those
just like
Aussies.
Ferguson too. Like when Oliveira had that overextended armbar on Ferguson for 10 straight seconds, and Ferguson just rode it out. He's like, "Yep, I'm just gonna wait for the horn. You know, I don't care how much you're overextending my arm. I'm not fucking tapping. Even though if you snap it, I'm not tapping." You know,
crazy, man. It's fucking crazy. But yeah, altogether, I mean, that this is a big one right now. This is a big one tonight for sure. Anyways, so anything else you want to cover before we move on?
I think for UFC, that's pretty much it. For now. Have you are you still caught up on The Last of Us? Did you watch the last episode?
Yes, I did. Yep. Sad one. Obviously, Ellie's lover.
Yeah.
Friend. And now she's in that girl, the black girl there, her lover. She is in that Missing movie that's coming out.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah. And she's also in I think she was in Euphoria. She was Rue's little sister in Euphoria. Good actress, very good actress. But yeah, I mean, it was a more of a character building episode again. You know, not a lot of action, which I think everyone's kind of demanding action at this point. More action, but
Yeah.
it's still. I mean, it's still. I'm still in for sure.
Yeah, and they're following the game pretty well too. Like the last episode with her and the other girl, I forget her name, but that was actually part of a DLC for the first game. So in the DLC was called Left Behind, and the episode that just happened was called Left Behind. So they pretty much they followed that DLC from the first game pretty well, where just it comes back from it shows her past before everything, before she had the bite and they figured out that she wasn't turning, and she was going to be the cure, or the hopeful cure.
Right. You needed that story, that police story as to why she has the immunity, or at least how she got bit in the first place.
Yeah,
is what I meant. Yeah. I mean, that was definitely, you needed that part. I mean, I didn't expect. I expected them to get attacked. At some point, but yeah, it was cool that they took us back into the Boston scene.
Yeah,
I like that. But yeah, I'm excited. I mean, I just hope, like, obviously, and then you see how she's still reunited with Joel at the end, which is good, and he's alive. Yeah. He's alive.
And how she got in that fight too with him about, like, because like she found out that because he hid it from her that he lost his daughter, and she found out about it, and she was like, I've experienced loss also. You're not alone. Like, I'm in the same boat as you. I lost my friend and stuff. So
right.
And so because like Joel was thinking about, like, he had a lot of pressure on needing to protect her. That's why he told his brother Tommy to be like, oh, you stay with her. I'm gonna leave. Because I'm too nervous to worry about protecting her, because it'll just remind him about how he, is beating himself up for, like, he just failed because he couldn't protect his daughter well enough or something.
Exactly. I'm trying to. No, I'm still hooked. Tom, I'm trying to find a couple of these clips I saved. I wanted to like play for you. I don't know if you might have seen them already on social media, but I'm having the hardest time finding them. But let's keep talking about, recent stuff we've been watching. I just finished season 3 of Outer Banks. Have you ever watched that?
I've heard of the show. I've definitely heard of the title. I've never watched it though.
Yeah, I mean it's like a teen drama kind of thing. Like treasure hunting type of show. Like a lot of twists and turns, and it was good. Like I enjoyed the setting of it. It's down like in the Outer Banks, which is like outside the Carolinas, like on the seacoast of the Carolinas.
Yeah.
Beautiful setting. Characters are great. So I thought it was, and I thought they ended it pretty well, without spoiling too much. But let's just say it's not quite over yet. But I highly recommend it. If you're into like treasure hunting type of stuff. What else have I been watching? Oh boy. So the new South Park. Have you seen any of the new season, Tom, yet?
No, actually, I don't think I have. I remember you talked about that last time too. I still haven't watched any of the new episode.
It's pretty good. This one, yeah, it's pretty good. They made fun of the royal family, like the prince and the princess, and it was all about like privacy, you wanting privacy, and pretty funny. And then what was this week's? Oh, this week's was fucking hilarious. It was Japanese toilets, and it's just fucking hilarious. You got and Randy's like, he's back with it. They're back at Tegrity Farms.
God, Tegrity Farms. I remember that.
I fucking love Randy. He's probably my favorite character in the whole fucking show. I mean, Cartman's good, but goddamn, Randy's fucking he's hilarious. They were just talking about Rogan actually this week, how amazing it is that these guys, like, they're the goats. They're untouchable at this point by like the cancel culture.
Yeah.
It's amazing. It's amazing what they can get away with. And I find it fucking awesome. Like,
yeah, there's some stuff I've seen in South Park that I'm like, holy shit, they let that on air?
Yeah.
Like, damn.
Yeah, it's and that's what I like about it, that they could still keep it going, and they're like, it's funny, and they keep it relevant. Yeah, I think it's just all around. It's probably the greatest comedy animation of all time. Yeah. No doubt. I'm still trying to find these clips, dude. I don't know where the hell they went on my Twitter. By the way, you can follow us at @bottom_line pod on Twitter, and I believe that's our Instagram handle. Yes, it is. As well, for all of our content and updates on new podcasts and new shows and whatever else. That was another shameless plug. What else? What else have you been watching, Tom?
I've been still watching The Godfather of Harlem with Forrest Whitaker and The Mayor of Kingstown with Jeremy Renner. Both really good shows. Godfather of Harlem is similar to The Godfather. Forrest Whitaker is a mob boss, and as he's trying to do a lot of good things for his African American community, he's still in the business of buying and distributing drugs, as most mobs would do. And it's a lot of like stabbing each other's backs and deals, and territory and how they're gonna buy this amount and then they're gonna it's pretty good. I think you should check that out at some point. And Malcolm X is in it too, the character Malcolm X. I forget who plays him.
Yeah.
But and then Mayor of Kingstown with Jeremy Renner, that's been doing really well. Obviously this was filmed before he had his accident with the snowplow. But yeah. Does he need to? Is he going to lose his legs, or is that?
I haven't heard any updates. I haven't heard the latest.
I really hope he doesn't need to. Yeah, there was something I read or my dad read about that he might need to lose his legs. And I was like, I don't want that to happen. He's Hawkeye, man. I don't want to lose his legs.
You just got to get robotic prosthetic legs now. He'll be super fast.
But he's been doing really well in the Mayor of Kingstown show. He's pretty much the middleman between different gangs, and I think in his past he used to be an inmate in the prison, but then he's kind of like working with the police and like making it so gangs can stay out of, or certain people from gangs can stay out of jail and have privileges outside of jail, but they can't just go shooting people. You know what I mean? Like, so he's trying to be like the mediator between police, the DA and all that stuff. So, and there's a lot of action in it, and I think you should definitely check that show out as well.
Yeah, we just got Paramount Plus because Chelsea wants to watch one of her dumb reality shows on there. So I'll definitely have to. I found one of the clips I needed. So, but before we get to that, speaking of robots, I tried Megan. Couldn't do it. Still couldn't do it. But the thing is I appreciate the idea, because I think this is what our world's coming to, is robots taking over. Now, I want to be on the good side, the positive side of the robots, not the negative side. I don't want them to kill us. I want them to help us.
Yeah.
If we end up going to war with Russia or China or whatever. And we're not a political podcast, but I'm just putting it out there. That's just that's my opinion on the matter, on robots. So yeah, I don't know. The movie just was like too freaky, like, because it's so like realistic as to where we could be going. And I was just like, yeah, I don't want evil.
It looks too real.
Chucky dolls. Yeah.
Yeah, like
I want to be
kind of
friends with
creeped me out
robots
too. How real she looked. It was creepy.
Yeah, I mean, I think that alone was the most interesting part of the movie, was how they made her so like robotic. Now, was that an actor really playing her, or was it a?
I don't know. That's a good.
Like, question. I feel at some parts like it was an actress that was playing.
Yeah, maybe like some voiceover or something. But yeah, let me make that up real quick.
But yeah, anyways, that triggered me because I saw a video the other day on Twitter, and it was this robot, those like Boston Dynamic robots. They look like dogs that like do like flips and stuff.
Yeah,
that they've made. It was in a strip club.
Oh wow.
I mean, it was probably somewhere down south or something, because there's a lot of black people, and it's just just so fucking hilarious that the fucking robots just dancing with the stripper. Like, just like I gotta find the clip, because it's just the video just does it justice. I'm still looking for that one, but goddamn, I could not stop laughing.
Yeah, I gotta see that now.
I'm gonna play the audio in the podcast, but I'll send you the videos afterwards. Because we need to find a way to get like visuals. This is why we need an actual studio, Tom, to do this.
Yeah.
Because unfortunately, but Zoom is all we have right now. We don't have the money. We don't have the budget. The fuck? I literally just I don't know. Like I think I save these clips and then I don't for some reason.
So okay, so for the Megan movie, Jenna Davis did the voice of Megan, and I think Amy Donald, she's an actress and a dancer, so she did all the movements.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that makes sense.
But I think there's, some movements and things that they just, did some CGI with.
Oh, for sure. Well, what was the robot like? I mean, was that CGI? Like when they in the beginning?
Oh yeah,
That's all probably. CGI. It looks so realistic.
Yeah, and there's some of these game engines now. I don't know if you've seen videos on Unreal Engine 5. You got to look that up, and it's like sometimes you're like, "Holy shit, is that just a video of a couple blocks in a city, or is that Unreal Engine 5?" Because there's some Unreal Engine 5 test videos of like, taking a picture of like a city street with some taxis and like, maybe like a wet pavement from rain or something like that, and it looks like someone just took a picture with their phone or the camera on the sidewalk in real life, and it's like it's getting really, really, really impressive
and really scary. I'm telling you, robots are gonna take over the world, Tom, and I want to be on the friendly side. That's all I'm saying.
Technology is a great thing, but you don't want to go past a certain line. I think they what do you call it? It was a thing in San Francisco that I heard about a few months ago about them trying to start a program to arm robots to help the police force in San Francisco. But then I think they retracted that subject or whatever, because I think a lot of people were like, no, you're not going to arm robots. No. I remember
reading about that. We're not ready for that yet. I don't think that's a good idea, but it feels like we're heading that direction, man. Feels like we're definitely heading that direction. So I found the video. Speaking of, we're still on a robot topic here. Here's the video of the robot, Boston Dynamic looking robot at the strip club. If you can, hopefully the audio.
I've seen a Boston Dynamic video. I haven't seen the video you're talking about, but I've seen some example videos from Boston Dynamic.
Yeah, so that's what the robot looks like as I'm trying to describe to you in the audience here. But yeah, he's at a strip club. All right, I want to start. Hopefully the audio works. I mean, it's not very good. I just like the guy's reaction. He's just like, Yay! The robot likes pussy too.
Oh god.
Oh my god.
You gotta send me that video.
Oh, I will. I'm definitely sending it to you. I have another clip, but if we want to keep, do you want to go down viral clips path, or where else do we want to go with this?
Yeah, sure, let's do that.
All right, so this is the other clip I just found. So I don't know, you might have seen this, but it was on Barstool, had posted it. And by the way, credit to @D0T/ on Twitter for that last video. This one, Rap Music tweeted it, but also Barstool put it out. It's this guy at the airport, and he just starts freaking out. Probably has some sort of mental illness, but he just starts like screaming the words to "Not Afraid" by Eminem and like a bunch of other like music, like songs. Have you seen this, Tom?
No, is it like in a waiting area at the airport or something like that?
Yeah. He's got like the guys, he looks like a Trump support, like a hardcore Trumpy. Like he's got the tight, he looks like he just came back from a hiking trip. He's got the sweatshirt wrapped around his waist. He's got the big hiking backpack. Yeah. It literally looks like he just walked. They're all dirty, ripped, like his jeans. He's got boots on. Like he looks like he just came out of the fucking woods from a hike or something. But yeah, everyone's just fucking standing there, looking like minding their own fucking business at the airport, and this guy's just fucking losing his mind to "Not Afraid" by Eminem and a bunch of other songs. All right, so here it goes.
Everybody turn their video on. Everybody come take my hand in this world together, all through the storm. Everybody come take my hand, this world will walk together through the rain. I'm free. Let's bring a little Detroit to town, a little bit of Radiohead. Amazing grace, how sweet the sound. Dirty fucking cop right there. Go ahead, pull your gun and put a bullet through my head. I'm not afraid to take. Why don't you guys have body cameras? Paul King County DEA, the head chief. He's the one that's going to track all those sexual girls that were trafficked right there on that plane that are going to club. You want me to name the club? Deja Vu? Everybody, there's girls from that plane going to Club Deja Vu to dance that are being trafficked from around the world. Hashtag taken.
What?
I'm not afraid to take a stand. Everybody, come take my hand, this one will make together through the storm. Everybody, come take my hand, this one will take together through the storm. Everybody, come take my hand, this one will take together through the storm. And I can't stop living this way. I'm coming out of my cage. You want a little Detroit here?
It's over south of New England.
Damn. Wow. I feel bad for the people who are trying to sleep.
Dude, he throws his glasses, like he drops his glasses as he's singing it, and he just fucking starts smashing it. One kid comes up, like his ginger kid, just comes up to him at the end and daps him up. And just Oh my god, it's fucking hilarious. Was it hashtag take it or something?
Yeah.
Dude, if I was in the airport with that guy, I'd be like, is someone gonna arrest this guy, or because I'm trying to relax here. This is already a stressful situation. But
Yeah, I would go on YouTube and find the relaxing music YouTube channel and blast it all the way up with your earpods and
unbelievable. I mean,
that's what I would do.
I'm telling you, man, it's like the Crazies. We're turning into the Crazies. Have you seen that movie?
Oh yeah.
What's happening? Fucking Crazies. It's gonna be The Last of Us here before we know it. Fucking man.
Instead of clickers and all that, there's gonna be people walking around just screaming songs.
Unreal. That guy needs some fucking help, big time. Anyways, that was the only two clips I had. But I thought those were fucking hilarious. There was one last story kind of hilarious story I wanted to share. TMZ Sports reported this yesterday. Red Sox. So this is, we talked a little bit about the Red Sox earlier in the show, and they're kind of banking on Kike Hernandez to be like the face of their franchise right now. And I don't know if he'll live up to that, like hitting wise. He's a good defensive player. He's definitely not going to fill Bogart's shoes at shortstop, but he is probably my favorite Red Sox personality on this team of all time. Like Ortiz is up there, obviously, but this guy's just fucking unfiltered, like just naturally funny. He's a Puerto Rican American. So he had an interview where he said as an LA Dodger when he played for the Dodgers during the 2020 NLDS playoff game, that he pooped his pants while at bat. Yeah.
Oh no. That's automatically strike 3 for him, man. Damn.
Just an unfortunate time for Kike. Man, imagine pooping your pants during a playoff game.
Why can't our jerseys be brown?
Yeah, only if they were the Cleveland Browns. That would be perfect.
Yeah.
Do you remember I think it was like last year. I forget who. We might have talked about this like off air before, but I think it was Ernest Johnson. I don't know. It was a Cleveland Brown. I'm gonna look it up right now, but it was a Cleveland Browns running back. I think it was against the Jets. They were home, and he, when he scored a touchdown, he like bent over and took the football and wiped his ass as a celebration.
Oh man.
And I'm pretty sure he got fined a shit ton of money, and he definitely got flagged for it.
Yeah, that's.
Yeah. I'm trying to. Yeah, it's just Isaiah Crowell. Yeah, that's right. No, I'm sorry, I screwed that up. It was a Jets running back, and they were playing in Cleveland, so I had it backwards.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, Isaiah Crowell. Fucking hilarious, man.
Yeah, I can understand them flagging him for that. I mean, it's totally cool to like to have a quick celebration after a touchdown or whatever, but yeah, to do that's just, especially with the official NFL football. Come on. Just get one of those fucking colored ones from Walmart and do it,
Exactly. Or just fucking don't do it, maybe. Next time, maybe just find another celebration.
Yeah.
This kid's in attendance.
Yeah, switch your emote.
Yeah. I appreciate the humor, but maybe not on a public forum. Maybe not the best. I don't know, man. It's crazy. It's crazy world we live in, Tom. But is there anything else you wanna get off here? We're about an hour 20 in, so
I'll probably just put, think of some other stuff we can bring up next episode. But yeah, I think I covered a lot of stuff we wanted to cover this episode.
yeah, man. It's obviously it's a weird part of the sports calendar here. It's kind of a team sports calendar, I should say. Not a lot going on other than basketball and hockey, but football wise, there's not much going on other than like a lot of off-season news. But which should be ramping up soon. I'm excited to hear about the Patriots and what they do, and they've got a lot of question marks. So I'm sure we'll have a lot to talk about them in the next couple of weeks as free agency and the trade market ramps up. Excited, ready for the Bruins to start playoffs, ready for the Celtics to start playoffs, and obviously it's a long baseball season. So we'll check back in on the Red Sox maybe halfway through the summer, July, August, somewhere down there. See if they're still doing okay. But I'm sure there'll be a lot to talk about going forward, and obviously The Last of Us, that's coming out next episode. I think they're gonna end it this month, this first season probably.
Yeah, probably, because I think the second season is going to be like the second game.
Right. That makes sense. So yeah, so that will be wrapping up. Obviously new South Park's coming out. So
what time's the Bruins on today?
Bruins are at 1. UFC starts at 5:30.
Yep.
Tomorrow I don't think there's anything going on. I think the Celtics are off until Monday. But yeah. So stay tuned. We got more content on the way for you guys. I hope you enjoyed another episode. And Tom, we'll see you next time.
All right. Go Bones Jones.
Go Bones Jones. Take care, man.